Hello, my name is Shamika Renee Piggy. This is my significant other interview project. Similar to the previous project, I'll be interviewing a professional actor, Darrell Bailey, who received his Master's of Fine Arts in Acting from the New York Film Academy of LA. The actor will be assuming a role and character who is bringing his child in for an intake for possible admittance into a substance abuse treatment clinic. The character's child is struggling with substance abuse related issues and has recently suffered a drug overdose after using cocaine. Upon release from the hospital, the client's father has decided to bring the client in for an intake. Darrell Bailey will be portraying the father. Darrell Bailey, a professional actor, has worked with individuals in recovery and will be playing on real life experiences for the role. However, these experiences are fictitious and are not the associated issues or problems of the role play participant or any specific individual. The role play will begin shortly. So, hello, my name is Shamika Piggy. How are you today? Right. Can I get your name? Jeff Towner. Jeff Towner, is really nice to meet you too. Can I get your age? 43 years old. And I know that you brought your son in today, and he's had his pre-admission intake. Is that correct? All right. So I want to give you a little bit of background about myself here as we are beginning to get into the intake process. I am a counselor here. I have my credentials through the Missouri Licensing Credentialing Board, as you can tell in my office. You can look at those documents at any time. I've been a substance abuse counselor here in the state of Missouri for approximately 4 years, and with that time, I've been here at the agency for 4 years as well. If you have any questions about that, you can definitely ask me anything as well, and I'll give you the information. And so, with any other provider here in this facility. So here at Healing Hearts, we do follow the HIPAA laws, and I know that you were given a little bit of that earlier, and so I'm just going to go over the limitations as I don't want to continue to repeat ourselves here when you've already had that information. So do you mind if I go over the limitations, or do you feel secure with those already? Of course. So here we are an agency that follows HIPAA law. And so what that means is that we do protect private health information, and anything that you say here is confidential, and we don't release any of that information to organizations or authority figures that are not in need of the information or do not have the right of authorization for the information. And so just to talk a little bit about some limits of it, though, anything we talk about is confidential, but there are some things that we cannot hold in confidence. And some of that is suicidal ideations. So if you report any suicidal ideation that you've experienced with your child or with you yourself, there's something that I would have to report as you yourself are in the client position as well here. Okay, so same thing with homicidal ideations. If you say you want to hurt or harm someone or kill someone and you give us that person's name, we do have a duty to warn. That's something that we all follow here. Also, any reporting of physical neglect, abuse, child abuse, sexual assault that you report here, we'll definitely have to alert the authorities and hotline that as well. And any crimes committed here on this campus, we do have the right to press charges and alert the authorities as well. Is that understandable? Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the details of this interview. I know you have your son here. He did take that initial interview. And so this is kind of our understanding of coming together with the parents to fill in some gaps and some information that your son may not have been able to answer, or he doesn't remember, or it's just not coming to him right now. We always like to rely on the parents as really great informants on their children's issues or their history. And so we really like to interview our parents as well, as we get the intake admissions rolling here. So what we're going to do is an interview. It should last for more than 45 minutes approximately. It may go over, may go under. And we're just going to do like an intake again, kind of similar to what we did with your son, but it's just going to be on your son specifically, you speaking about him and his issues that you understand as you understand them. And it's just going to be a simple intake with open-ended questions, some closed-ended questions, and then we're going to talk at the end about possible treatment recommendations for your son today, as that are some of the reasons that you brought him in. All right. That's fine. That's all I wanted you to try your best. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about the issues that are going on that concern your son? Anything that you find, well, specifically, you're bringing him in today for substance abuse issues. I know that there was a history of reporting of a previous overdose where he had to be hospitalized. Okay. So I'm hearing that the main issue again is the recent overdose. You say about a couple of days ago he got out of the hospital. I'll be taking some notes on these events that you're reporting today. And so, can you talk a little bit further about the overdose? What led to it? Can you give me? Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. And can you tell me a little bit about the doctor? See, I understand that it seems as if you may have had some suspicions of some use, but you didn't have any specifics. Mm-hmm. 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 So it seems as if you're very concerned for your child, especially with the recent overdose. And of course. Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, what you're saying is you're bringing your child in today for a recent overdose on cocaine, as we talked about. You came into the home, you found him unresponsive, which resulted in him being taken to the hospital. And from there, the doctor said that he had OD'd on cocaine. And from there, after he was released 2 days later, you're bringing him in here for an intake. And you said that your greatest um, understanding of possible drug use was marijuana, but it seems that it may be more than just marijuana at this point. It's cocaine, it's marijuana, it's pills, and maybe some other things as well. Hmm. Okay, so I see that you're his father, as you mentioned. Just want to get a little bit of understanding of you guys' relationship, and you've been in his life since day one, since birth. So can you describe a little bit of the relationship with him prior to these recent events of his youth coming full blown and into light with you? Mhm. Mhm. So I want to go back to when you said when he was. I'm gonna definitely talk about the depression. I want you to definitely remember that so we can talk about it towards the physical and the mental health assessment. You said that he was really happy as a kid, similar to like any other kid would be. So would you describe you guys as having a happy relationship with each other? Okay. So typical father-son relationship in your opinion, and it was pretty positive. Okay. So in your opinion, before the Usa came out with the overdose and those issues, he led a pretty positive lifestyle. Okay. Um, and you are currently living with your son at the time, right? Right. Of course. Do you plan on continuing to live with him once we go through the intake and figure out treatment planning? Okay. Okay, so it seems as if in order for him to return home, he's going to have to kind of straighten up what you feel like his act is right now and become completely sober, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Have you given him any ultimatums besides this one? It seems as if he doesn't get it together. He's not going to be able to return home. Has there been anything else that you said, ultimatum wise, that or is in response to his drug use or into his lifestyle? Okay. Mhm. Mhm. So, what is an ultimatum that you given him besides that you won't be able to return home if you're not clean, and or if you bring in drugs in the home, you won't be able to live there? What's another ultimatum? You say you give him all the time, but he doesn't listen. Okay. So he's breaking curfew. Mhm. So he's not really listening to the ultimatums, but you continue to make them, is what I'm hearing. Okay. So I know that you were discussing in detail some of the substances that you were aware of with his use. Can you give me a little bit more insight into those substances that you feel that he's using or that's been reported to you concerning his use? So more like pain pills. Hmm. You said he was experimenting with oxycodone, but he also had reported cocaine use already. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, it's fine. I understand. So you're definitely seeing some reports here from the doctor of marijuana use, cocaine use, and pill use as well. And but you said that the cocaine earlier was primarily his drug of choice, in your opinion. Is that right? Based on what he told the doctors. Okay. All right. Alrighty, so we're going to move on to the next question. So you said that the overdose is your first time hearing of the strong drug use here or the persistent drug use. Mm-hmm. 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 But that hasn't been confirmed as of yet, has it? Okay. So for concrete, just want to state it for the record is that your true understanding of his drug use is just that one-time overdose for any concrete anything, but you did have recent past suspicions. It's very concrete. Yes. Okay. So his admittance to the doctor for you was really that concrete understanding of his drug use. If I know he may not have mentioned it to you, but did the doctor report on anything that he was said to the doctor of how often in the last month that he was using drugs? Of course. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you definitely witnessed some up and downs in his moods. Hmm. Okay. So you could just tell me yes or no if you don't know the answer to these questions, we could just move on. But I want to on the record just state that I did ask you, just in case if you remember something and it jumps out to you. But to your knowledge, how much is your son's daily use of each of these drugs? You wouldn't know that one. Okay. That's definitely something we can check with him on. He knows, of course, what he's using. In your opinion, do you think your son is using these drugs frequently? All right. You just don't know how frequent, right? Okay. And has your son had any previous treatment for chemical dependency or addiction or substance use? Mhm. So this is his first time. He hasn't had any outpatient or inpatient or anything like that. Alrighty. Okay. Um, do you know if he's experienced some length of sobriety or not? Okay, that's understandable. All right, so I want to ask a little bit about stressors. As we here believe that a lot of stressors can lead to use, and it has been proven in like a lot of research studies that people tend to use because of things that are going on in their lives that are underlying situations. So, what are some stressors that you believe contributed to your son's initial use of drugs? Okay. So yeah, we just went back to the depression. So his mother passed away, and can you tell me a little bit about how he's? You said he went down a little bit. He was declining. Um, can you give me some specific emotions that you or behaviors that you've experienced with him? Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Is there any possibility that you can identify any triggers that may have contributed to your son's relapse and overdose? Any triggers that you can identify? That's understandable. Okay. Okay. Um, I know we focus a lot on the negatives concerning your son's use, but are there any strengths that you can identify at this time in your son's ability to refrain from the use? Mhm. So you do see him being able to be successful in moving forward from the issues with the drug use. Okay. Okay. Um, anything else that you see concerning his strength? Anything about him that you can see him using in recovery to? Okay. So he likes to talk. All right. Mm-hmm. Charismatic. Okay. So he has the potential to be active and being able to use that in his recovery, you believe? Okay. Um, I want to talk a little bit about legal issues. Are there any current legal issues that you're aware of that your son may be experiencing right now? Mhm. Can you describe that situation a little bit more for me? Mhm. Are there any legal issues related to his drug use, you believe? Is that situation maybe related? That's a possibility. Of course. I want to talk a little bit about employment history. I mean, his. That's fine. I can definitely mark that down. So he has no employment right now. Do you think that employment could help him, with taking up idle time once he does Okay. So I mean, I was just wanting to know to see if there could be a potential avenue in his recovery process. Hmm. So what I'm hearing here is that what we discussed up to now is that he does maybe having a little bit of some stresses with his mom's passing and how they may have caused a little bit of inactivity with him in the home, um, and less engaged and less focused and kind of being up and down in his emotions. You said you weren't able to really identify any specific triggers, and that's okay. But that you did also say that your son has some really great strengths, and that he's a really talkative person. He likes to express himself, is what I'm hearing. And that he's really charismatic and active when he's engaged and focused on something. You said that there may be some issues here with some legal issues. If you said that he had to pay a fine for recent shoplifting with friends. Um, okay, I understand. The fine had to be paid to the courts specifically for his shoplifting issues, but there wasn't any real major legal issues that we can actually say that are connected to his drug use, although you may have some suspicions. And then concerning employment history, he doesn't have any right now, but then maybe looking into work for employment. Yeah, I don't know. Is that accurate? All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about physical and mental health. We did talk a little bit about depression. So, is depression a form of diagnosis that he received adequate services for? Okay. Can you describe the depression that he was experiencing before he went in to get the actual treatment and diagnosis for it?
you know, the feeling blue, the sadness, the blue,
Mm-hmm.
there, like,
So prolonged sadness.
yes, couldn't get out of bed, I want at all. So, yeah, so basically, I could take it to somebody, insurance covered it.
Okay.
With depression, they put them on, what was it? 25 milligrams
Okay. So the symptomology that you said that you experienced was just the gloom and gloom as you kind of described it.
yes.
The prolonged sadness and you just couldn't see what to say. I mean, that's what prompted you going in to see a clinician
Yes,
who
ma'am.
diagnosed him with depression, and he was put on Prozac. And so I'm gonna go ahead and label that here. They said 25 milligrams.
Yes.
Alrighty. Okay. Want to talk a little bit about
Well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it wasn't
okay.
often taken. They used to talk about that because the time really take care of its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's dealing too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know. That could have triggered this whole, this the popular smoking. That was what started off.
Mm-hmm. With the increased use of the medication, was there any concern by the doctors that he may be med seeking or maybe struggling with something else that could really prompt what we're here to discuss today, which is the issues of substance use?
No, not really. I never really brought it up. It was, I try and say that he was
Okay.
never.
Mm-hmm. I know that you said that he was put on medication. Did they give him any psychiatric, anything other than just the psychiatric medication? Some counseling services that can help
Yeah,
him?
pretty much.
Okay.
Uh,
How long did that last?
it was that last.
Okay. And what's the agency or the clinic that he was treated
That would have been health center. Jackson Health
at? Okay, Jackson Health Center. Alrighty. Do you feel like the medication was beneficial when he was taking it?
Center. It definitely seemed to help. So,
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about some really sensitive topics here going in, and if you need to take a break or anything with that, you're more than welcome to just stop and take a pause. But I really want to ask a little bit about your perceptions of does your son have a history of suicide risk or homicidal risk, in your opinion, or what you come to know about him?
you know, I think for a while
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that place. Did get there, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm. So you're afraid of possible suicidal ideation.
yes.
Okay, but no homicidal risk.
No.
Okay. Um, and I know we talked a little bit about the depression here and how it led into treatment. But other than those episodes, has your son experienced any mental health crises within the last 3 to 5 years?
No, I don't believe he has.
Okay. I just want to ask you, just in your opinion, does your son have any expressed feelings of guilt or anger that you can recall?
Mm, no.
Want to continue to move on. What about like a history of trauma? I know that his mother died in a car accident. Was he? I heard that. I heard mentioned in the screening that he was in the car at the time.
Yes, yeah,
Mhm. 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 Okay. So I'm definitely hearing that there could be a significant amount of trauma that he's experienced due to the death of his mother, as well as just understandable grief and loss.
yeah,
Hmm. Do you think that he's engaged in any threatening behaviors or physical acts of violence as a result of possible trauma here?
I don't,
Okay,
uh, yeah, but then again,
that's
I
understandable.
didn't know that he was on
And I understand that there can be a hard thing to take right now with all the stuff that's going on, but one thing we want to do is help your child as much as we possibly can and also help you as well. I want to talk a little bit about family history of mental health and substance abuse issues. Um, is there anyone in the family currently seeking help for any emotional problems or behavioral health issues or substance abuse issues?
Mm, no, there's no one currently seeking help, but they should be.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what they may be experiencing right now, what may be going on with the family?
We definitely have uh, our sister.
Mm-hmm.
She, I'm not exactly wrong. I think
Mm-hmm.
she might be borderline or something like that. I'm not sure. Unless I
Mm-hmm. So any other history besides alcoholism? Just want to make sure here for substance abuse disorders.
can. Yeah, I remember having besides
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you said that there could be some psychiatric issue with your sister, a borderline maybe schizophrenia,
or
some mental
something.
health.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I want to ask you here, can you identify any family or community support or they could be, helpful with your son's issues right now?
Yeah, definitely. He's always had with both
Mm-hmm.
and so for a long time, he was lots of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's definitely.
Okay. So it seems like grandparents may be a great support to not just you, but to your child as well.
Yes.
What about supportive peers? Does he have any supportive peers that you're aware of?
He definitely has some friends. Market agent, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They run the house these days, but
Okay.
they're pretty good kids. If I recall correctly, I think Mark was on the soccer team, and AJ, just was a good kid. Community, pick up groups,
Okay.
just
So he
the
was
volunteering,
so very active in the
doing something,
community.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
selling candy bar, for kids
Fundraising. Yeah.
whatever it was.
Are those the peers? You say he's not really hanging around those peers right now. So how would you describe his relationship with his current peers?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely put a stop to that when I started definitely look around.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So definitely not a positive perception of those friends. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, no, definitely
Okay. Um, I did have some questions here, but I don't know if you would know. But I'm going to go and ask you anyway. You can just tell me you're not sure or you're not aware. Has the individual's drinking and or drug use has interfered with any of his relationships, whether it be with his grandparents or his peers, or anything? Has it interfered with any of these relationships or supports that he has set up?
not. Well, definitely interfered with me in
Mm-hmm.
I guess eventually it has you can kind of
Okay. Okay. Um, does he belong to any clubs or organizations that you are aware of?
he definitely used to be able to swim
Okay.
he kind of
Mm-hmm. Do you think that he enjoyed the swim team?
I think he did.
Okay. Can you describe his current leisure activities other than just the youth?
But,
Mm-hmm. That's the primary one. Anything else?
uh, no, I feel like that's pretty much it. Video game, cell phone.
Alrighty. Do you think that does he enjoy these activities in your opinion?
Yes.
Immensely. Okay. Concerning physical health, is there any major health issues or risks that you're aware of?
No.
Okay. Does he have a primary care provider?
Yes.
Do you know that care provider's name?
Uh, girl,
So Dr. Gerald Jeffries. Okay. and we can. Is there any way we can get in contact with him, just to get like a history of the physical history on, concerning doctor's visits, shots, anything of that nature?
Yeah, practice.
Okay.
He's one of the doctors.
Okay. Can we get a consent sign for you from you as well?
Sure.
Okay. So is there a family history of physical health issues? I know you said there really wasn't anything concerning mental health, but what about physical health? Okay. And he's not taking any physical health meds right now or anything like
No.
that. Okay. Um, I know we talked a little earlier about childhood, so I really don't want to get too much into that, but I want to talk a little bit about his educational experiences in his early childhood years. How would you have described those, and how would you describe them currently? Hmm. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about what's his highest level of education that you're aware of here? Sophomore in high school. And he's not employed. Just to make sure I have that down. Um, is he currently in a relationship? I kind of want to talk about home life and relationships right now. Like a romantic relationship. Is he currently in anything like that, or that you may be aware of? Okay, but you have no understanding of the relationship. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to describe their relationship. Assuming. Okay. Are you aware of any of your son's sexual preferences? Okay. Okay, so you're assuming he's heterosexual here. That it may be something different. Okay. And I'll take that down. So thus far, it seems like when we talk about childhood and education, that T was, pretty smart kid growing up, and he was able to get his work done. But now it seems like there may be some disconnect educationally. He's a sophomore in high school right now, and then you don't have any understanding of personal romantic relationships at this time. But you do believe he may have a girlfriend, and you understand him to be a heterosexual male. You don't believe any of those issues are causing any problems for him concerning relationships or sexual health. Okay. And you said that your relationship with you is a little strained right now, not as engaging as it used to be in the past because of the disconnect that you may feel it could be connected to the drug use or the lifestyle he's living at the moment. Is that accurate? Okay. Um, I guess as of right now, you know a lot more about his use with the overdose. Can you tell me the way you feel right at this moment concerning that use? Hmm. Are you fearful? Hmm. Of course.
point us in the right
I understand. I understand. Um, I want to ask a little bit about religious beliefs. Um, is there is there any partiality to religious beliefs within the family?
Definitely. I would say we're spiritual, like Christians, but I wouldn't say we really subscribe to the, Baptist, Pentecostal, yada yada yada, 7 day event, all of that.
Spiritual.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, we'd probably end up just going to a non-denominational church down the street or so. Yeah.
Believe well, that you may believe that his religious beliefs could be a strength in his recovery.
Sure. I mean, God has power.
So I want to kind of ask some final questions here as we approach the end of our interview. I just want to get your perception or your understanding on a few topics here. Um, in your opinion, what would be your desired goal for your child's overall therapeutic experience?
Definitely to get clean. Get clean. Get himself together. Get back in school. Get ready to either go to college or get a job. Really start taking those steps into manhood. And becoming an adult, paying his own way, or whatever this is going to do in this life. Yes.
Okay. And I know we just talked a lot earlier about his strengths and his capabilities that can aid him in the recovery process. Are you aware of any effective coping skills that your son engages?
I don't.
Okay. What is one positive thing in your son's life that you believe he does well?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. What's one positive thing in my son's life that I think he does well?
Yeah.
I feel like everything he does in his life, he does well. You know, well, all the positive things that he does well. I feel like, back in the day, he was a really good student, good team player, good with people, nice, good at making friends. I just think he was an all around positive person.
This process, in your opinion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So treatment recommendations. I know we're getting towards the end here. So I definitely want to recommend your child for inpatient treatment. And I just want to know a little bit of how you feel about that.
I just want to get whatever we can with the best. I want him to have the best. I want him to get clean. I want him to have whatever it is he got to do.
Okay. And I definitely understand. So you're open to the inpatient treatment idea.
Yes, I
Okay. Basically, when we leave today and step out of the office, I'm going to give you some resources to let you know what our inpatient program is like. If he comes in for inpatient after we do all his final assessments, we're going to be looking at a 45 to 60-day program. And in that program, he's going to get some individual counseling, some therapy, whether it be with you, concerning family therapy, or with his depression, getting some of those co-occurring disorders taken care of, and also getting that really firm substance abuse help. And he's also going to be put with a case manager as well that can help him with some community things such as working to get a job, getting into some extracurricular activities, things of his interest that can really keep him busy and keep him focused on the things that we want him to be focused on and not so focused on the substance use and the negative activity and the legal issues. Um, does that sound like something that you're open for today?
I'm
Okay. All right. Well, I'm so glad to hear that today. Do you have any further questions that you want to ask me for the purposes of this podcast or anything else that you foresee your kids needing help with? I mean, you know, that you want to talk about or discuss any questions there?
Uh, I hope I feel like in a situation like that, I hope that you really help my kid turn over. This is a good he really needs some help. And, I'm trying to get him that help. I'm trying to support him, and I just hope that you all can really, help my kid. In all honesty, because if you don't, I don't know where we're gonna go. I don't know where to go. What's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not like miracles happen. But those who still, we're gonna have to give him some clean time and we're gonna help him kind of a little more to relax and get him some resources. So at this time, I definitely hear your concerns. And what I just said with the team, you will be given a treatment team that you'll be notified of, and they will definitely keep you in touch with things. Keep in touch with progress, keep you in touch with things that are happening in his treatment, pretty much as a weekly basis. And if you don't have any more questions on that, what I would like for us to do is to move into the hallway, and you can go into the lounge and relax for a little while as your son is going to be going through the assessment process, and then we'll take him into the intake room to finish gathering his items that he's going to be coming into treatment with, and then you'll be free to go. Do you have any questions regarding that process at all?
No, no,
All right, so this time we can go ahead and walk out into the lobby and go to the lounge. And I really want to thank you for coming in today. I know this has not been a process that you really favored or a process that you really wanted to engage, but I'm glad that you guys came in to talk about how we can be a help to you and your son.
no, no.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.